Listen, I know this isn't an easy conversation. When you start to suspect that something's changed, not in her words, not in her body, but in her energy, it does something to a man. It shakes the ground under your confidence. Maybe she still says, I love you. Maybe she still cooks, laughs, sits beside you on the couch. But something inside you whispers, this isn't the same woman anymore. That whisper? It's not paranoia. It's your nervous system recognizing emotional withdrawal, the first and most powerful signal of a woman who's already halfway out the door. Because long before a woman cheats with her body, she cheats with her emotions. Her feelings start migrating, her energy starts redirecting, and whether she admits it or not, you'll feel it. That's what I want to help you understand today. Emotional signal number 1, the sudden disconnection you can't explain. It doesn't arrive with drama or arguments. It's quiet, subtle. It's not her saying, leave me alone. It's her smiling while her eyes stop lighting up when you walk into the room. It's her answering you, but not feeling you. You start to sense she's somewhere else, even when she's sitting right next to you. You ask her how her day was, and she gives short, clean answers. It was fine. Work was okay. You crack a joke that used to make her laugh, and now she just gives a polite smile. That's emotional detachment. Her heart is slowly exiting the connection. See, when a woman begins investing her emotional energy into another man, even if she hasn't touched him, her brain naturally starts withdrawing from the one she's with. It's not a conscious betrayal at first. It's an emotional drift, like she's saving her tenderness for someone new. And men who are emotionally intuitive can feel this before any physical signs appear. It's in her tone, her patience, her eye contact. It's in how she no longer leans in when you talk, or how her affection feels mechanical, like she's performing love rather than expressing it. That's why it's so confusing. Because everything looks normal, but nothing feels right. When she begins this silent withdrawal, she'll often tell you, I'm just tired, or you're overthinking. She might even get defensive if you bring it up, not because she's angry at you, but because she's afraid to face the truth herself. She's caught between loyalty and desire, and her emotions can't hide it anymore. I've seen men blame themselves at this stage, thinking, maybe I've been too busy, or maybe I stopped making her feel special. But here's the truth. Emotional disconnection isn't about what you did wrong. It's about where her emotions are now going. When her emotional attention shifts to another man, her affection becomes selective. She'll start filtering what parts of herself you get, while another part of her gets saved for him. The sad part? Most men don't notice until it's too late. They try to fix it by giving more attention, more effort, more reassurance, but that only highlights the imbalance. Because when a woman's emotions are being fed elsewhere, your energy starts to feel like noise to her. And that's the moment she begins to emotionally disappear, even if she's still physically present. If you're feeling that right now, don't ignore it. That discomfort in your gut is truth, trying to get your attention. Don't rush to accuse her. Don't spiral into anger. Just start observing. Start watching how often she seems present when you speak. Notice if her laughter still sounds like it comes from her chest, or just her lips. And pay attention to whether she reaches for you after emotional connection or only out of habit. Because once you recognize emotional absence, you can finally stop fighting shadows and start seeing what's real. Keep watching, because the next signal? That's where most men get emotionally trapped, right before the truth comes out. Emotional signal #2, the overcompensating tenderness that isn't real. You know what's tricky about emotional cheating? It doesn't always look cold. Sometimes it looks too warm. After that first wave of emotional disconnection, something strange often happens. She becomes softer. Suddenly, she's touching you more, calling you babe again, cooking your favorite meal out of nowhere. And if you've been sensing her distance, that tenderness can almost make you second-guess yourself. But listen carefully. When a woman starts acting extra sweet right after pulling away emotionally, that's not love returning. That's guilt management. Here's what's happening under the surface. When a woman begins forming a secret connection with another man, even if nothing physical has happened, her conscience starts to fight back. And because most women can't live comfortably with emotional contradiction, she tries to soothe her guilt by performing love. So she'll kiss you longer, send random "I miss you" texts, or suddenly ask how your day went, not because she's feeling more connected, but because she's trying to convince herself that she still loves you. That's the dangerous illusion. It's tenderness without truth, affection without alignment. And men fall for it all the time because they want to believe she's coming back. You've been craving that warmth, so when she gives it, even briefly, it feels like a miracle. But then it fades again. She goes distant the next day. The cycle repeats. That's the second emotional signal of a cheating woman, this emotional pendulum swing. One moment she's pouring attention into you. The next, she's emotionally absent again. And if you're not careful, that inconsistency will start to manipulate your peace. You'll start chasing those warm moments, waiting for them, craving them, rewarding her for them, while ignoring the cold stretches in between. That's how emotional control starts without you even noticing. Let me explain it from a psychological angle. When she's cheating, her brain enters what we call a dual narrative state. She's living two emotional truths, one with you and one with the other man. But the human brain can't maintain both indefinitely, so she uses compensatory affection as a balancing act. Those sudden soft touches? That late-night cuddle that feels almost too gentle? That's not random. It's her conscience trying to reset her emotional equilibrium. And if you're emotionally intelligent, you'll see the pattern. Her affection feels intentional instead of instinctive. There's a difference between a woman wanting to be close and a woman needing to feel less guilty. Asterisk. Now, here's the real trap. If you call her out during this phase, she'll deflect with sweetness. You'll say, "You've been acting strange lately." She'll laugh softly, touch your face, and whisper, "Baby, what are you talking about?" Then she'll hug you just long enough to make you doubt yourself. That's emotional gaslighting, done not with cruelty, but with charm. And it's one of the most powerful shields a cheating woman uses. If you're in this space right now, don't rush to react. The goal isn't to catch her, it's to stay awake. Start observing her pattern, not her moments. Is her affection consistent or situational? Does her warmth show up only after she's been distant? And does it fade the moment you stop questioning her? If yes, then you're not experiencing love. You're experiencing guilt disguised as care. It's a tough truth, I know, because every man wants to believe her love is still real. But emotional signals never lie. They just whisper first, then scream later. So breathe. Watch. Don't let temporary sweetness erase permanent distance. If you're getting some value from this video, drop a like so more men can get to understand these patterns. Now, I'm going to show you the ultimate emotional signal, the one most men never recognize until it's already destroyed the trust. Emotional signal 3, the emotional reversal, when she turns her guilt into your fault. You've felt the distance. You've seen the tenderness that suddenly felt too intentional. And now, here comes the third signal, the one that stings the most because it leaves you questioning your own sanity. It's when she starts turning her guilt into your fault. This is what I call the emotional reversal phase. It happens when her internal conflict, that mix of guilt, fear, and hidden desire, becomes too heavy to carry. So instead of facing it, she projects it. She pushes that discomfort onto you. Here's how it shows up. Suddenly, you're the problem. You're the one who's changed. You're cold, distracted, or not romantic anymore. She starts picking small fights out of nowhere, accusing you of the very things she's doing internally. Maybe she says, "You don't even care about me lately," right after she's been emotionally distant for weeks. Or she'll look at her phone, smile at a text, and then snap at you for always checking on her. What she's doing, subconsciously, is transferring her emotional tension onto you because it's easier to feel angry at you than to feel guilty about her choices. Psychologically, this is classic projection. When someone can't sit with their own emotional contradiction, their brain looks for an external source to blame. So she starts rewriting the emotional story between you two, twisting facts, distorting intentions, until you're the one defending yourself for things you never did. And you, being emotionally invested, try to fix it. You apologize, reassure her, chase her mood, tell her you love her. But none of it lands. Because she's not looking for peace, she's looking for emotional cover. It's heartbreaking, I know. You're there trying to make sense of why the woman who used to adore you now acts like she's tolerating you. You're asking yourself, did I miss something? Did I push her away? But no, what you're experiencing is her internal guilt rewriting the script. See, when she's already given a piece of her heart elsewhere, she can't stand being seen as the one who broke something pure. So her mind flips the narrative. You become the distant one. You become the problem. And in her story, you're the reason she's unhappy. That story protects her from shame, and it allows her to keep betraying the relationship without collapsing under guilt. And this is where most men emotionally drown. Because she's not just cheating your trust, she's bending your reality. You start doubting your instincts, your memory, your emotional awareness. You become so busy proving your innocence that you forget she's the one hiding something. That's why I always tell men this. When the woman you love suddenly turns defensive, overly sensitive, or starts flipping accountability, pause. Don't argue. Don't chase validation. Just step back. Observe. Because emotional projection thrives on your reaction. When you stop reacting, she loses control of the narrative. And that's when truth starts to surface. I've seen men rebuild their peace simply by staying silent during this phase. Not cold, just calm. Because silence has a way of forcing honesty out of people who are used to hiding behind noise. So if she's accusing you of things that make no logical sense, if she's rewriting your reality, don't beg for clarity. Wait for consistency. Guilt always cracks under time. So don't waste your power trying to fix what someone else is trying to hide. Step back. Breathe. Let their behavior show you their truth. Because sometimes a woman won't tell you she's cheating. She'll emotionally confess through every inconsistency in her behavior. You just have to stop loving her blindness more than you love your peace. I'm Coach Jane, and if this spoke to something deep inside you, don't just scroll away. Hit the like button, share this with another man who needs to hear it, and tell me in the comments which signal hit hardest for you. Because here on The Real Ask Jane, we don't chase lies, we face them.